I prune pretty aggressively. Like
Yeah.
I'm pruning out 30 days.
Good. No, keep pruning, and then I would list a little bit more to try and overcome it to push your numbers up.
Okay.
And you're going to be doing two things. You're going to be increasing your sell-through rate because you're pruning, which is beautiful, right? A larger proportion of your items have sold, right? eBay loves that.
And then I try to snipe 10 items a day. I don't know if I always get that many, but I'm wondering, is that just like way too low? Do I need to spend like way more time with it if I actually wanted to
No,
hit
no,
like,
no, no. That's actually what I sort of did when I started out. If you're pushing 9K listings, you should be at around 6 to 7K a month in revenue. Let me go to Zoom user. Are you here right now?
yeah, so I've been talking to some people in the forums, and I've seen some eBay accounts that are pretty impressive. Like, people
Yeah.
gotten sales up to like, I don't know, 90,000 or something like that over the past 90, 30 days or something like that. So I've actually got a couple of statistics I could drop into the chat. Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
these are my two eBay accounts. So
Yeah.
that's one. Here's the other one. So with these, I was wondering, like, if I wanted to get these up, say I'd like to get sales up to like, like $8,000 a month or something like that
Yeah.
with both accounts. So like what sort of strategy should I implement there? I think you can see sales and
Yeah, yeah,
impressions and stuff. So, and what I'm doing is I'm following the basic strategy, like, sniping and bulk listing. I do work full time, so it's like, I'm able to snipe maybe 10 items a day and do some product substitution. But like, how much of that would I actually need to do to hit like, 8K in sales per month
yeah.
from each account?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, the first thing I was gonna ask was your listing strategy. So how many items are you specifically listing a day, and then what's your breakdown? Because you told me the two things you're doing, right? You said
Okay,
bulk.
yeah. So I'll bulk list about 100 items a day.
Yeah, 100 items a
And
day.
that just comes through, doing competitor research basically.
Yep.
And then I try to snipe 10 items a day. I don't know if I always get that many, but I'm wondering, is that just like way too low? Do I need to spend like way more time with it if I actually wanted to
No,
hit
no,
like,
no, no. That's actually what I sort of did when I started out. And I guess my second kind of question was, I see you have about 3,500 listings on both your accounts. I mean, the
Mhm.
first thing I would do is just kind of push your account up to that 10K mark. I'm assuming you're on the premium plan. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think the first thing you can do is just push up to 10K. If you're pruning, do you do that at all?
I prune pretty aggressively. Like
Yeah.
I'm pruning out like 30 days.
Good.
So
Good.
yeah.
No, keep pruning, and then I would list a little bit more to try and overcome it to push your numbers up.
Okay.
And you're going to be doing two things. You're going to be increasing your sell-through rate because you're pruning, which is beautiful, right? A larger proportion of your items have sold, right? eBay loves that. But then number two, you're just going to be pushing your account up and using bulk theory to, get more sales by having more items available. So I think the pruning strat is great. I think you have pretty warmed up accounts. I think you can push up closer to 200 listings a day, 150 to 200. And then
Okay.
just do that every day consistently. Try to get up to 9, 10K listings and see where you're at. At
Yeah.
that point, I think you should be at, what are you at? I mean, what are you at right now? Like 3.6. Yeah, you should be at like 6K to 7K, I think, pretty conservatively.
Yeah. So like in terms of 6K to 7K per eBay account or
Per
like
eBay account. Yeah, if you're pushing around 9K, like 9K listings, you should be at around 6 to 7K a month in revenue. Yeah.
so what do you think about the sniping strategy? Like is that
Dude, the snipes are also really great. Yeah, I think 10 a day is perfectly fine. I think consistency is more important than volume. I think
okay,
doing 10 a day is huge, right? If you
okay.
want to get into substitution and learn some of that, you can, but all that does is increase your margin a little bit. I would just snipe because you don't have a lot of time, right? I would just
Yeah.
snipe and I would push to 10K and then reevaluate. To me, I see an account that's not at its full potential yet. That's
Mhm.
what I see, right?
So in terms of I'm sorry, were you going to say something else?
No, no, no. I think it's great you're pruning. I wish I pruned when I started earlier. I think just listing even more now items is kind of what you can do. You can list more items because you're deleting so many, right? It's good.
Okay. So in terms of finding new products to list, I mean, I'll typically do like competitor research and like I
Yeah.
have a list of other drop shippers. Like can you give me any advice on that, like on how to find good products to sell on Amazon?
Yeah, I mean, I don't do anything nuts. I do something pretty similar. I'll just scan a huge number of people, maybe 1,000 people, and from that list, of people that I'm sure you know the process, right? You just scan, you get a bunch of people on a list by like pressing the button to get them there, and then you scan. And once you have that list made up, with that, right, what you can do is you can increase your criteria. So what I like to do a lot of is find items that have sold like 20 times in the last 90 days, or
Hmm.
20 times, yeah, 20 times in the last 30 days, 10 times in the last 30 days that are at least $25. So they're like bigger items. And then from there, you can do substitution, you can snipe, you can take all that stuff and you can put it in the product hunter and bulk list those items. Right? There's a whole lot of stuff you can do and there's a lot of flexibility. But I would play around with your filters and use that as your primary lever. There are even more advanced methods to like find niches with high sell-through rates, but I don't think you need that right now. I think you just need, if you're going to bulk list items off of the competitor tracker, I would bulk list items that like have sold a few times in the last 30 days and are over 25 bucks. But I would again push towards filling up your account with listings first, if that makes sense. Um,
Okay.
and then if you want to snipe higher quality items, just scan more people and filter out guys that have sold more items. So instead of two sold in the last 3 days, you can do four sold in the last 3 days, right? And again, if you can't find the same item, you can always try to substitute, find a cheaper item that you can list at the same price. There's a bit of
Okay.
thinking that goes on there, but it's like a muscle you can grow. And again, what I've seen with product research and listing strategies is there's as long as you follow some principles, it's really hard to go wrong with it. As long as you're just listing in niches that are selling, like your stuff is going to sell, right? So,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Appreciate it. That
Yeah.
helps.
But
Yeah.
no, I think your highest leverage arm though is to just kind of do the same thing, but get a little bit more volume and push up. Kind of get your accounts to that 10K amount.
Okay.
Yeah, right around there. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at that point. But yeah. And then you can hire things out and you can have a VA sniping for you and it's all sorts of stuff you can do. And then you can get those numbers up even more. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, we haven't spoken in a while, but you're Mr. Hot Nickels, right?
Yeah, that's right. I think I've asked you a
Yeah.
few
You're,
questions, so
you're
I
Chris. You're
can't.
Chris. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you're doing great. Awesome job of staying consistent. And yeah, let me know how it goes. I'm always happy to help.
Yeah, we'll do. I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, great, great, great.